So those coming in late, your exam is on November 12th. Your assignment is due on Monday. Friday, we're not having a class. Friday class is canceled. I won't be able to come. I have some things to do. So Monday, when you come back, we have a quiz first thing. We're gonna finish off the lecture. November 12th is your second exam. Okay? All right. So we said that if total revenue was, an assignment due November 5th, beginning of class. Exam 2, November 12th. Right, 12th? 12th is what I said. So we said that if total revenue, did I turn this on? It's on. Right. If total revenue was less than variable cost, shut down. Oh, sorry, let me check if I turn this on. That. So let's do an example where firm 1 total revenue is equal to 100,000. Their variable cost, so firm 1's variable cost is 70,000. Fixed cost of firm 1 is 120,000. So this is firm 1. Firm 2, total revenue of firm 2 is also 100,000. Variable cost is greater than firm 1, 120,000. And fixed cost is equal to 70,000. So what are the profits for firm 1 and firm 2? Well, profit is equals to total revenue minus total cost, right? We're not given total cost here, but we can calculate it. Total cost is equals to fixed cost plus variable cost. So for firm 1, the total cost is 70,000 plus 120,000, which is 190,000. The total cost for firm 2 is, again, fixed cost plus variable cost is also 190,000. This is the sorry, something is wrong. Oh, okay. So firm 1, if operates, the profit would equal 100,000 minus 190,000, negative 90,000. Right? So the profit for firm 1 is total revenue minus total cost, right, is equal to negative 90,000 if it operates. If it shuts down, the profit would equal, total revenue would be 0 because there won't be any money coming in, right? Total cost would be just your fixed cost because you're not operating, so you won't have a variable cost. Because you're not operating, you won't have a variable cost. You will only have a fixed cost. So total revenue will be 0 because you have shut down, you're not operating. Total cost would be just your fixed cost, which you still have to pay. Even if you are shutting down, you still have to pay your fixed cost. So total revenue minus fixed cost, something you still have to pay. Variable cost you don't have to worry about when you're shutting down because you're not producing, so you're not paying the variable cost. So if shut down, the profit becomes negative 120,000. Right? If shut down, the profit becomes negative of what the fixed cost is. So should they operate or should they shut down? If you look at the profits, what does your figure tell you? What? They should operate because they're losing less money if they operate. If they shut down, they're losing more money. So firm 1 should operate because firm 1 should operate because they are losing more money if they shut down. Remember, fixed cost is something you have to pay, even if you're not producing. So is it worth it? In this case, we're saying that they should continue to operate. They'll be losing less money if they operate. Now, what about firm 2? So I'm gonna erase this. So firm 2, what are their profits equal? If firm 2 operates, their profit is equal to total revenue, which is 100,000, minus total cost, which is, for firm 2 it is 190,000. So it's negative 90,000. If firm 2 shuts down, their profit would equal, total revenue would be what? If they shut down, the money coming in would be 0. And if they shut down, their total cost would be what? Their total cost, if they shut down, their total cost will be just the fixed cost, right? Because they're not operating, so they're not gonna be paying variable cost. So the total cost would be just the fixed cost, which in this case is 70,000. So they'll be losing 70,000 if they shut down. So based on these profit figures, should they continue to operate or should they shut down?
Shut down.
They should shut down, because if they continue to operate, they're losing more money by operating, right? So firm 2 should shut down because they are losing more money if they operate. They are losing more money if they continue to operate. Right? Any questions on this? Yeah.
How did you get 0?
When the firm shuts down, the total revenue coming in is 0 because the firm is shut down.
It's always 0.
If the firm is shutting down, there's no revenue coming in, right? So that's why total revenue is 0. And if the firm is shut down, the total cost is just basically the fixed cost they have to pay, like the rent for the place or the security or whatever. They don't have to pay the operating cost or the variable cost because it's shut down. So total cost is just the fixed cost. Or like fixed costs are lease payments or rents. So even if you shut down, you still have to make the lease payment on the land or the utility bill or the security bill or whatever. So that's what that is. That even if you shut down, you still have to pay the fixed costs. So So a firm should shut down if the price is below the minimum point on average variable cost curve. So in your previous example that we were doing yesterday, where the equilibrium price was 80 and equilibrium quantity was 1,000, what is the shutdown price? Price at which, below that price, you should not be operating. So Monday's lecture, the last graph we did,
So even 79 is setting down price, huh?
what? Look at the average variable cost curve, go to the minimum point of that curve. The minimum point of average variable cost will be where it's intersecting with marginal cost. So it's 40 for this one, right?
Okay.
So that's the price. If you're selling at that price, you should shut down. 40 and below, shut down, right?
41.
Okay? So, any price below the minimum of average variable cost, you should not be operating. Total revenue divided by Q, if it's less than variable cost divided by Q, shut down. Price is equals to total revenue divided by quantity. Average variable cost is equal to variable cost divided by quantity. If this is true, shut down. So these two things are basically exactly the same thing. Price is equal to total revenue is equals to price times quantity, right? Right? So if we were to solve for price, price is equal to total revenue divided by Q, right? So this is exactly equal to this, and ABC is exactly equal to VC divided by Q. If this is true, if total revenue is less than your variable cost, shut down. So everybody clear on this, that you should shut down at the minimum of ABC and below that? Okay. Just making sure. Alright, so